Well, I stepped outside the back door. It's 3:27 in the morning, and straight there in the west is the moon, full tomorrow, but glowing brilliantly. And in the sky, a thin, hazy lot of clouds coming over, just a few stars shining through. But more interesting was the distant yep, 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 yep. And I must say, where I am, there are big trees, wonderful, beautiful big trees. And that yapping is one of the gliders. And I know in the area there's both sugar and squirrel gliders. I am not able to tell by their calls. I think that one's a sugar glider. I know other places where I've been doing the night camera work and leaving out some what they call traps, but they don't hurt anything, they're just food. So peanut butter, oats, honey, sometimes with a sardine as well. Delicious mix in a PVC pipe with holes in it attached to usually like a fallen tree or something that's still got cover, so the animal's safe if they come to the food, but the camera's pointed that way so that it can see it. And on one of those in Wyong, we had definitely squirrel gliders rather than the sugar gliders. It was so amazing to get your camera footage back and see it. So hearing them here is really wonderful. And I know it was only 2 nights ago I was hearing the powerful owl. And of course the gliders are key food for the powerful owls, as are ringtail possums. Not so many ringtail possums here that I've noticed, but great to hear the gliders. So being full moon tomorrow, we've had always the wonderful knowledge from the traditional people of this country about the full moon being a time when it comes with rain. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. When the full moon also coincides with rain, even some drops of rain. It's letting us know that there's a fullness, and the next 28 days ahead to the next full moon is all good things. There is abundance there. There is, as I said, the animals will be easier to catch, the births will be easier. Water is such a thing that makes life easy. So, as I mentioned, we had some rain today. We had tiny sprinkles through the sunshine. We've got some cloud cover now, so we'll see how we go for full moon. But also brilliant to watch the moon, just to be outside. So part of bringing nature back to urban areas is knowing our nighttime fauna as well. This could be the moths that go to the flowers in your garden. It could be something as wonderful as here with the gliders, the powerful owls. They can live in urban places, providing we manage those things that attack them. So basically cats and dogs inside. We manage foxes, not so much foxes getting gliders or owls. It does happen, but a lot less so. And keeping the canopy connected. Now I know there's then the big question about bushfire, etc. But there are ways that we work with canopy and canopy separation or canopy linkages, or not having dry shrubs under canopy. There's a whole science to bushfire, and it depends on the slope, the aspect, the vegetation type, etc. And we definitely can have native plants and habitat in our urban areas and manage bushfire risk. One of the key things though is let's keep our planet and our cycles nourished and enriched, meaning we don't get the big swings of drought so much, because when the leaves have low moisture, of course they're easier to burn. And I was part of an experiment that was looking at that quite recently, and it definitely makes a difference. So keeping the moisture in our soils, which means also looking for a country like Australia, where does our main water come from? Yeah, obviously there's rain, but groundwater resources, groundwater, not even to say the word resources anymore, because it sounds like it's something for us to take. Groundwater as an entity, groundwater as a beingness, groundwater as a presence. Groundwater is a very big part of Australia. And if you look at the Great Artesian Basin, that's almost like a massive river, but it's underground instead of on the top. And then we need to look, who's taking the water out of that? Easy to see our Murray-Darling and the complete mismanagement there and the outcomes. But we also have these underground water storages, water sources, water beings that are being tapped and drained. And at the moment, it's largely for coal seam gas mining. So we need to ask those questions. Where are our waterways? And give them, in their own right, their right to exist as a waterway. And then have them, the waterway, at the table in any decision making. First, what does that waterway need to sustain itself and to sustain the ecosystems and the processes that are around? And I know the answer really is whatever the natural system is. So then we say, how much can one take? And importantly, what does one give back? Because any system where there is taking and not giving is a criminal system. So anything that is set up to take from the earth must have a give back. And when we move more to that cycle of understanding what's called the principles of exchange, we'll realize that to have harmonious relationships in ourselves, in our relationships, in our families, in our workplaces, with the earth is about exchange. So if we take from someone something, including a wage, whatever it might be, that we give something back. We can give back just equal to what we've taken. We get this much money, we did that much outcome. That's fair exchange. We give that bit more. Doesn't mean you have to do longer hours. It might mean you're just always pleasant, on time, etc. That bit more. That's in abundance, more than what's expected. Then you can do partial. You take and give back a little bit, give back some, might give back almost, but not all of what would be expected. It might be that you give all of what's expected, but do it in a really grumpy, nasty manner that brings other people down. So it's still only partial, because then overall, the whole isn't delivered. Or it can be criminal. You just get paid and you do nothing. With the earth, there's too much criminal exchange. It's time to turn it around. So, in this beautiful full moon, we look at our opportunities to give back to earth. May it be appreciation of it, a song, water, bush regeneration, planting, teaching about earth so that more people care for it, bringing more pollinators back, making a nest box and putting it somewhere. What can we give back? And that intention of giving back, knowing that we definitely do take from the earth. So that's just a little bit of this beautiful evening pre-full moon.